Hi again, General Math students. We're going to continue looking at arithmetic sequences. We're looking in a slightly different context from the last video. Here we're told that we have a term in the sequence, 163, and we're asked to determine what position it's placed in. So we can see this sequence is counting up in threes, 10, 13, 16, 19, so it's going to go 22, 25, 28, all the way. Eventually it's going to get to 163. And they want us to find out what number term is this. How many terms will we count to get to number 163? Okay, so to do this, we need to determine the sequence rule. So I'm talking about the last video, what we did in the last video, where we actually write down a rule for the sequence. You might want to pause the video now and try and write down the sequence rule yourself. Then I'll have a go at it. Righto. So our general rule for a sequence is Tn equals A plus n take 1 times D. A, of course, is the first term in the sequence. So in this case, A is 10. And D is the common difference. Here we're going up in threes. So that means our sequence is 10 plus n take 1 times 3. So we expand and simplify this. We get 10 plus 3n take 3. So when we bring this all together, Tn equals 3n plus 7. Okay, so now we need to determine what is the value for n when the term is 163. So we're going to put 163 there equals 3n plus 7. So if you rearrange this to get n, you'll find the number of the term that is number 163. So why don't you pause the video and try and get n here? Then I'll do it. Okay, so with this one, we're going to subtract 7 from both sides. So this 7 comes over and becomes negative 7. So we have 163 take 7 equals 3n. And then we're going to divide both sides by that 3. It's multiplying on this side, so it goes on the other side and divides. So essentially what we have is that n equals 163 take 7 over 3, which gives us 52. So it's the 52nd term is 163. Okay, now I just want to show you this on the calculator, how we can actually check this and build sequences on our calculator. All right, and this could be a useful tool for your sequences and series study. So we're going to go to this button here, lists and spreadsheets. And in this first column, I want you just to type number 1 and enter that, and then number 2. Now I'm going to want to fill that down. So rather than typing each number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and taking all that time, let's go back up to number 1, highlight that like that, and go Shift down, and that highlights both cells, and then go Menu, Data, and Fill. Okay, and then you can push down and just hold it down. I'll keep pushing it down until we get all the way down as far as we want to go. Now, in this case, we already know we want to go to number 52, so I'll just go to there. That's 53, that's okay. Push that down. So that tells us the number of the terms there. Okay, now in this one, we're going to put the sequence rule. So our sequence rule is equal to equals. So we're using like a formula for a spreadsheet here, all right? Equals, now it was 3n plus 7. So I'm going to go 3 times, and then the cell that I want to use, the value of the term is this one here. So that's A1. A1 plus 7. So I'm basically using the sequence rule, 3n plus 7. But instead of the n, I put the cell number for the term, that number term. Push enter and we see there's 10 like the sequence was. Now go back up there and let's get all the other cells to have that same rule. menu, data, fill. Now it won't use A1 for each of those, it'll go to the next one down, so it'll calculate all the values in the proper order for each term. And we'll go all the way down to the end and we'll push enter. And we see that the calculator has confirmed that the 50-second term is 163. So that's how we make sequences on the calculator. And that could be useful in other situations and for checking these types of calculations like we've done now. So go ahead and check the description for the video and try some of the questions.